In this video, I'm going to show you how to take your faulty, unorganized, and overall bad sentences and rearrange them so that they make sense. Good grammar is the foundation of any paper. Without good grammar, your readers might become thoroughly confused as to what you're talking about and lose interest in your paper. Okay, here's a paragraph that has some really bad grammar in it. John Bishop was a famous surrealist painter. John was born December 30th, 1934 in Sussex, England. When he was born, they thought he might not live because of having been born premature and was so small. Unfortunately, at the age of 10, John's father died. After the death of his father, a will was drawn up, including 300 acres of land and a manor. Upon reaching the age of 20, John persuaded his mother to let him travel to Barcelona due to him wanting to become a painter, and this proved the means of his visiting Spain. John's life had been filled with many obstacles, perhaps, though the largest obstacle, which took John 6 years to overcome, were the death of his mother. Okay, these sentences by themselves kind of make sense, but we have a lot of faulty verbs and a lot of ofs. This can make your paper seem really scatterbrained. Let's see if we can fix this. Okay, I'm going to break this paragraph down sentence by sentence for you. Let's see if we can fix these sentences that help them make sense. Let's take the first sentence of the faulty paragraph. John Bishop was a famous surrealist painter. Okay, well, we know he's a surrealist painter, but it also runs into the next sentence. John was born December 30th, 1934 in Sussex, England. We need to combine these sentences to make them more concise. Here's the corrected sentence. John Bishop was a famous surrealist painter born on December 30th, 1934 in Sussex, England. This gives us all the information that we need in one compact sentence. Here's the third faulty sentence. When he was born, they thought he might not live because of having been born premature and was so small. In this sentence, we have no idea who they is. Not only that, but the last part, and was so small, could apply basically to any part of this sentence. We need to identify who was so small and who they is. When John was born prematurely, doctors thought he would not live due to his small size. This sentence identifies who was born prematurely and who thought he would not live. This sentence sounds a lot better than the first one. Here's the fourth sentence corrected. Unfortunately, when John was 10, his father died. The original sentence was, unfortunately, at the age of 10, John's father died. This makes it sound like that John's father died when he was 10, not when John was 10. Here's the fourth sentence corrected. After the death of his father, a will was drawn up, granting 300 acres of land and a manor. The original sentence was, after the death of his father, a will was drawn up, including 300 acres of land and a manor. By saying including, it sounds like the will itself had acres of land on it. That's not actually true. You gotta make sure you fix that. Granting makes it sound better. Makes a lot more sense that way. Here's the fifth sentence. At the age of 20, John persuaded his mother to let him travel to Barcelona to become a painter, which explains why he was in Spain. The original sentence doesn't make any sense at all. The original sentence is much too wordy. It's too hard to figure out what pieces need to go where. In the corrected sentence, everything is put concisely in order. That way the reader can easily make sense of the paragraph without having to revisit it. The seventh sentence, the last sentence, the original, obviously we have some verb problems here, as well as a run-on sentence or two. We need to break these sentences up to make them two sentences. The first of which is, John's life had been filled with many obstacles. That's a complete idea in and of itself, so it can be a separate sentence. The next sentence, the largest obstacle, which took John 6 years to overcome, was the death of his mother. By splitting up the original sentence, we can make sense of it. Finally, we have all the sentences revised. Let's put them together back into the paragraph form and see how it sounds. This paragraph sounds a lot better. The ideas flow smoothly, and the reader doesn't need to go back and reread the paragraph to understand what he just read. I think this paragraph's pretty good. What do you think?